You fully on the yerba mate grind now?
Yep. We'll see. So, welcome back to, it's been a while.
Yeah. The people thought we were done.
The haters
The haters.
were getting excited that we canceled ourselves.
Yeah, they thought they won.
Yeah.
Little did they know.
They're never going to win.
Just getting started. Okay.
So, I wanted to do a segment called Chad Stack. And the Chad Stack is, what are the supplements or diets or exercise routines or just general day-to-day things that you're doing to keep your mind and body focused so you can lock in when you have to lock in.
Might be more important than your tech stack.
Yeah, honestly.
That very valid. What's your chat stack?
So my Chad Stack right now is I'm off sugar.
You're off sugar.
Except for this that has like 20 grams of sugar in it, unfortunately.
That's crazy for you to say. Okay.
Anyway. As a sugar addict, it's very hard to get off sugar. And I've seen a lot of mental clarity in the past week or so where I've tried to quit as much as possible. So no processed sugar.
What made you realize you were a sugar addict?
I saw a tweet. Well, what I knew, I've been a sugar addict my entire life.
Like, are you actually an addict, or like you just, like the average person consumes too much sugar, or like you seriously have a sugar problem?
I have like an extreme sweet tooth.
Okay.
And I just
You're
love
just waking up at 1 a.m. jamming Twinkies like in your mouth?
Yeah,
what?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Now I understand.
I mean, I'm not an obese person, but
okay. But your mental clarity is better.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And sugar leads to dementia. That's kind of like all these things are linking sugar to like type 3 diabetes, which leads to dementia.
Jeez.
And, I think we both want to live as long as possible and remain, competent as long as possible.
For sure.
Brain health is super important to me. So that's kind of a no-brainer, right?
Do you eat fruits?
What?
Do you eat fruit?
Oh, yeah, a ton of fruit.
Yeah. So like natural sugar.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Nice.
And then I'm switching from coffee to green tea.
Wow.
And that's also been a game changer as well.
Big switch.
And then the third thing is I started chewing nicotine gum.
Whoa. Spicy.
So Lucy, shout out Lucy, nicotine gum. I've never smoked cigarettes. I've never vaped, but the 2 milligram Lucy's, they hit in such a way that, dude, you get locked in for like 30 minutes, an hour, and then it goes away. Like, it's totally cool. I think like this nootropic works for me.
I thought nicotine just made you cloudy and hazy. Like, what do you feel? Just focus?
It's a rush of energy. So it's like brain energy. Like the blood rushes to your brain. That's how I feel.
Okay.
Similar to caffeine. And that just motivates you to do whatever you're doing.
So it's like more dopamine, maybe?
It is probably like a little bit of that. But I don't see a crash, like the way that you could load up on 400 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah.
And then just be dead.
Mm-hmm.
I think nicotine is just like, it's a slow release. Chew some gum. I'm packing a gum lip right now.
Yeah, nice.
And then, just like you feel sharper.
Just on it, lasts a couple hours.
Yeah, and then goes away.
And you just like, you take another one, or that's all? You don't feel a crash, you're saying?
Yeah, there's no crash. Honestly, the first couple times I did it, I was chewing it till like 6 p.m. and then it was keeping me up at night. So it does have like a half-life the same way that caffeine does.
Yeah.
But I'm experimenting with it.
Nice. So
and being more productive.
Green tea, patch, gum.
Yep.
Nice.
Green tea and nicotine. That's
locked in.
That's my chat.
The rest of the day.
What about you?
I haven't done anything crazy recently, other than like making sure the first thing I do every day is still wake up and either drink, of course, straight out of bed, cold brew.
Cold brew straight out of bed.
Yeah, I actually drink cold brew concentrate.
Are you joking right now?
No. I didn't know I bought concentrate, and then turns out I've just been drinking like a cup of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know how much caffeine is in there?
No, I don't want to know.
Fuck.
But no milk, no sugar, just straight, and then get like a cardio workout in, or like a lift.
Yep.
And I feel like that sets you up no matter what. What are my other Chad stacks? Ooh. Do you know have you ever told you about the Skyview lamp?
No.
This is sick. I've had it for so long, I forgot about it. It's this lamp that you set up. It's like the average size lamp. Looks cool or whatever. But it's it's engineered to follow the color of the sun.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you like sync it with your alarm clock and it'll wake you up like there's like a sunrise going on in your bedroom.
Oh, sick.
And then at night, whenever you go to bed, it'll like slowly get dusk. And then right before bed, it'll turn red and then like shut off.
Oh, it's awesome.
And it really works. It's like as soon as the blue light turns on in the morning, it like wakes you up. So that's been pretty cool.
Sick.
It's basically my Chad stack.
It's pretty healthy.
Yeah.
Freaking chugging concentrated cold brew as soon as you wake up. Is that more or less healthy than me consuming nicotine midday?
I don't know. Sounds worse.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
So, all right, this Chad stack is brought to you by Mountain Valley and Yerba Mate.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And Lucy. Shout out Lucy. Okay, so do you want to talk about, so I'm launching a new project pretty soon. We just had an MVP kind of come into formation today.
Wow. Big steps.
Yeah, and there's an interesting marketing strategy that we're going to use with it.
Yeah, you created like a bunch of LinkedIn accounts, right?
Yeah, so we're kind of stealing the Airbuds strategy. Do you want to talk about the Airbuds strategy a little bit?
You probably know more about it than me because I was using it as an excuse to research it, I guess.
Okay.
But as far as I know, they basically somehow got a bunch of college kids and paid them X dollars per month to create like 60 or so videos and basically post it on their own accounts and then have their names of the TikTok accounts be like Jack at Airbuds or Emily at Airbuds. And the videos are like super simple. It's just literally like in their room dancing with like a caption over the video about like, they'll do like a clever caption, like my mom when she found my son on Airbuds or like something so bizarre, but like they'll basically bring Airbuds into like the zeitgeist of TikTok. And then they have like 50 of these accounts that they're paying. I don't even know how much they're paying, to be honest, that are just pumping 60 videos a month. And that's basically it. And the thought there is that Airbuds could have created like a corporate account, a brand account, but this is way more effective. Obviously, come from volume, but more so like it's more legitimate because someone will come across a creator, and I feel like people follow people online, but they don't follow brands, and they'll see it, and it's just more legitimate. And some of these videos have been like hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah, with the most basic content of all time, just some B-roll video and some text.
Literally, they'll be like brushing their teeth, and they'll put text over the video, like Airbuds got me like. I mean, it doesn't make sense, really.
Some of the texts, they're not even Airbuds related. It's just a music sharing app. So it'll be some person with the same video 100 times in a row.
Yeah.
In the text, fills up the entire screen, covers their face, and just like talks about the music that they're into.
Yeah.
So it's like just tangentially related to Airbuds because it's a music app.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Clearly it works because Airbuds was like #2 in the App Store, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
you're doing the same thing in LinkedIn?
So I'm trying to steal that formula, which I think the Airbuds formula is really, it's this breadth and not depth.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to steal it with LinkedIn. I'm not sure if anyone's done this before, but we're going to have maybe 25 to 50 LinkedIn accounts, and we're going to have similar content to the Airbuds content, which is B-roll video of humans in a sort of professional setting, or these are like professional-esque looking people.
Yeah.
And
what do you name the accounts?
So the name of the app is Deal Author. So it's going to be like Brian.deals, Shannon.deals,
Nice.
Claude.deals.
Yeah.
And the actual name of the person on LinkedIn is going to be Brian Deals. So if you see me out there, Brian Deals, that is me. And
block him immediately.
It is a fake LinkedIn account. So we're LinkedIn is very particular with, the verifications that they do. And so we had to experiment in terms of like, what are the boundary conditions that you can do with a fake LinkedIn account? So I can create an account and I can post videos, but I can't like create fake jobs. I can't make like fake job postings at my company because they're trying to keep that space clean. They don't want to have a bunch of fake jobs on their job board.
You yourself can go in and create 50 accounts on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Really?
With a different email for each one.
No ID required.
Right.
Do that?
Yep.
Interesting. And then like you're going to be posting all of this yourself?
Yeah. So, well, the way that we're plotting it out is that we're going to run it on LinkedIn, we're going to run it on TikTok, and then we're going to run it on Instagram. And the same 25 to 50 personas are going to be
on all
people on all these platforms. And right now I'm just like getting friends to submit video of themselves and agree to like be personas.
Yeah.
And then they're going to give me all the video. I'm chopping up the video. I'm putting the text on top of it,
Yeah.
editing it, and then I'm sending it out to a team of posters. And now the posters are going to post it from their phones, because TikTok doesn't like it when you post 100 accounts from your own phone. So
Where are the posters located?
all in LA, basically.
Okay.
Um, and so trying to spread it out so there's like 5 accounts on each poster's phone. And then creating this little funnel of content that just gets blasted out across 3 platforms. Now we'll see how it does.
I'm curious how LinkedIn's organic reach compares to like other platforms.
Yeah,
Because isn't LinkedIn's reach based off of your network?
it is, but it also has a recommendation algorithm, which is what I'm excited to get into. The problem is, similar to Instagram,
Yeah.
if you have a small following, your initial reach isn't going to be that large. Whereas we all know TikTok has the greatest recommendation algorithm of all time. You could have 0 followers and you could slam 100K view video.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas Instagram, it's much harder to do that. And I'm going to guess that LinkedIn is even harder to do that.
For sure.
So
I'd imagine the sauce for like getting customers for you is DMing them now on LinkedIn.
yeah, so part of it is like each persona is going to have to create a bunch of connections as well. The problem with that is that I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of churn in terms of getting these accounts pulled off of LinkedIn, because they're not real humans.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it might be this constant battle upstream of getting accounts taken down. But I think it's worth a shot, because the app is a B2B app, and we're targeting specifically influencer managers and brand managers on marketing teams who are, 25 to 35, and might, if they're on LinkedIn, they're not looking at the leadership videos and the whole performance of like, oh, I'm so good at my job, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They're looking for cool content, funny videos, interesting things that they wouldn't normally see on this platform.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it plays out.
Awesome. But you launched MVP today.
Yeah.
So now you can start doing that strategy.
Yep. So
Oh,
over the
yeah.
next over the next couple of weeks, we're gonna roll this out. And yeah, I'm excited. Airbuds on LinkedIn.
Awesome. I'm excited for this project because it feels like a perfect blend of like your expertise. Like you've been in the creator space, you know a lot of influencers and understand their process of like how they do deals and get partnerships. And you come from the world of like business and B2B. So like you're going to crush it. So excited to see the results.
Yeah. And it's like a little hack too. It's not like me sitting crafting these 90-second videos that, take a freaking long ass time.
Yeah. Well,
to make
the problem
a
is
video.
you're an artist and you put so much care into each video.
Yes. Yeah. People don't realize that about me, that I'm an artist. I'm glad that you recognize that.
Yeah. Well, I only said it for the public. But now that I'm thinking about it, like the Airbuds thing, right? Like their videos are terrible.
Yeah.
But like you could probably save 80% of your time by only doing like 70% of the edits. Social. But maybe that's like why that's fun.
What do you mean exactly?
Like oftentimes rougher videos, like sometimes I'll purposely misspell your
Oh, yeah.
to make it seem like a real person.
Yeah.
Versus like a brand that's super polished.
Yeah.
Especially on TikTok.
That's a good idea. I mean, I'm going to be pumping these out so fast, I'm going to fuck up a lot of shit. So it'll look trashy by accident, which will actually be serendipitous.
Nice. So, RIP Content Squared or what?
I'm still integrating TikTok into that. And once that gets integrated, actually that API is set up also today. I'm gonna still create videos sort of in the same way of just like super duper basic low effort videos, just to see if I can get stuff there. I have an app sitting there that can collect money, so I'm not gonna trash it. I'm just gonna like see if it can gain traction. If and when anyone signs up for it, I can upgrade the product at some point.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I launched something over the past few weeks that I kind of just like wanted to over the weekend. And now that I've tested it and like sat on it, I don't really think it's something I'm going to continue. But I feel like it's just getting used to the process of like, it's okay to shelf a project and just have it sit there.
Yeah.
Like maybe you'll come back to it and you have like the structure to like jump back in and pursue a new angle, or maybe it just becomes like a dead project and you move on.
Now, what was your time from like iteration to, launch to realizing that I don't really like this thing?
Iteration to launch, idea to iteration to launch was like a week, but from launch to like deciding to like put a pause on it, it was probably like 2 to 3 weeks.
Did you build it yourself?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I mean, 1 week of your time.
Yeah. In reality though, I think it might have been better So you like let the idea simmer for like a month or two. And then the idea is like you always like I feel like as a creator, founder, entrepreneur, or whatever, you always have like many ideas going on. And
Yeah.
like you have a new idea, even if you're excited about it, like throwing it into the pool of the 20 to 50 other ideas and letting them like swim around, whatever, surface, like chill, and then come back to it in a couple of weeks and see which one is like most like relevant versus like new shiny object, pursue it kind of thing. So I kind of skipped like throwing it on with my other ideas. And then I realized like the product concept is like flawed. So I should have like thought about how, yeah, I should have done like more market research and like created a few test videos before building the product itself.
That's an interesting thought process. Yeah. Test videos before launching a product. I think a lot of people do something similarly with like, hey, I'm going to get a landing page with an email sign up.
Yeah.
And then try to, it's like, if 10 people sign up, then I'll build the product.
Yeah. I think something we've been doing for our new project, which is, it's so funny because it's like entrepreneurship 101, is we go into Figma and we kind of just get on a call and we're like, all right, what are we thinking for this like app concepts? And then we all just like, you see our cursors going around, like dragging rectangles, putting like images in there, and we mock up a few screens. And then we're like, okay, this is probably the concept. And then we whip up a TikTok account and like drop videos for a week and see if that concept hits. And then like, if it doesn't hit, we're like, all right, back to the drawing board. Let's tweak this page. Like maybe move this feature in front. Maybe we need this like social element. And then we run it again on TikTok until we have something that works. And
That's
then
a
we send it to the engineering team.
content market fit before product market fit.
100% has to be that way.
Yeah, I think you're not wrong, especially with, you know, the cadence in which things launch now. You just built something in a week and then decided the next week that you didn't like it. I was going to argue against you, like, hey, sometimes you don't know what it's going to be until you build it. We were talking about this with Caleb, where it's like you kind of have to like craft it to see it come into fruition, and you have to build it before you know that it's no good.
Yeah,
Unless the concept itself is just like
I guess. I think what
trash.
sucks about developing is so much of the process is literally infrastructure and it takes forever. Like you can't just copy a code base. You need to create a new Supabase account, create a new email, like set up the Google OAuth client, create all new RLS policies, like permissions, storage buckets, like environment keys. Like it takes a minute when in reality, you could just go to Figma and like spew down what you're thinking and throw it on TikTok. And then like think about the process that way.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a faster validation. But like that stuff, I feel like that stuff is becoming easier and easier to build. You know, you can have a little pre-built kit that used to be like the MERN stack. I forget what it stands for. Or it was like Mongo.
Mongo, Express, React,
Yeah.
Node.
Yep. And now it's more like Supabase. It's like CERN. It's like,
It's faster, but dude, I'm telling you, still the infrastructure sucks. And like setting up the auth to like work correctly, it takes like a few days.
yeah. No, I mean, I know it takes me more than a few days.
Uh,
Maybe that parlays into the Replit cursor kind of thing,
for
like
sure.
the
Yeah,
new
yeah.
school stack. So I feel like there's two schools of thought happening in coding right now in relation to everyone's using AI to code, but they're using it in different ways. And to me, it's sort of like, it's almost like an Android versus Apple sort of divergence here in the styles. And I'm not sure right now who's Apple and who's Google, but let me explain to you my thought process. So Replit agents, they've basically created a network where I can just type into a chat box, hey, I want an app that does X, Y, and Z, and they're going to build it in Python and vanilla JS. And Replit has all these things built in. They have a database built in. They have deployment built in. And so they have a full stack within the little agent box. And so it can create a fully functional app in literally seconds. I created an app in about 5 minutes. It was called Go Off King and allowed people to just like anonymously rant on certain topics. And then it categorizes them and people can like upvote and downvote on whatever that person's rant was.
Mhm.
That took literally 5 minutes.
And you just did it all within Replit.
It was all within Replit. Replit
So
agents.
to your point, you didn't set up any environment keys. You didn't initiate a new database.
Yep.
Replit did that for you.
Yep. So what's the problem with that? Well, the problem is it's Python vanilla JS. It doesn't really look that great. If I wanted to make like a cool landing page, okay, I can do HTML in there. And we know like Peter Levels does everything in vanilla JS and HTML and CSS. And you can create a pretty decent product out of that. But I would have to take it, I feel like I would have to take it out of Replit agents and then start,
You get
modifying
access
it.
to the code base though in Replit, right?
Yep. Yeah. So Replit creates a REPL the same way you have a repo on GitHub.
Can you just tell it to use like the language that you want?
Yeah, you can, but I feel like it's a completely different way of building an app. I want this, sort of like fine-tuning control over my code base, and I don't necessarily want to tell it 700 times how to like size and resize, and it's like not quite getting like the sizing
Yeah,
for
when you could
mobile
just
right.
go in and
I could just make
backspace, enter
y-
2 pixels.
yeah. So that is sort of the closed environment of coding, the same
Right.
way that Apple creates this closed environment of computing where no one can really, get into the Macintosh or create like apps for the Macintosh. Everything's within its own environment. Whereas PC or Android is open source and it's all sort of out there.
And you're saying that's Cursor.
So I think Cursor is more of the open source development platform where you have complete control over your code base, but now the AI is inside your code base with you. And it's a little agent that can help you code individual edits that you want or create, complete files for you. And it 10x's your ability to do that, but it's still not, I wouldn't say it's as easy to go 0 to 1 as it is with Replit agents.
Yeah, the learning curve on Replit agents seems far lower than learning how to use an IDE like Cursor.
Yeah.
Isn't some of the beauty of Replit is that you can, let's say, you could like outsource it to someone in the same project. Like not only could you talk to the agent, but you could say like create a project to create this new feature.
Yeah, so then you can create a bounty in Replit, and then someone can fulfill that bounty, and you pay certain, cycles, and then you can start to collaborate with, hundreds or thousands of people on your app.
Yeah.
But it's still all within that Replit ecosystem. And obviously, you can download it and then like push it to GitHub and all that stuff, but then you lose that interactiveness.
Yeah, that's interesting. So where like Apple is the Apple Microsoft analogy is more about consumers. You're saying the Cursor Replit is more about developers.
Yeah,
And if developers want full control, like Microsoft, or more, a more curated, like less powerful approach, like Replit,
yep.
but maybe it's faster and easier to use.
Yeah. So the next thing that Replit's doing is they're creating an IDE, a mobile IDE. So they think that people coding on their phones is going to be the next wave of the future.
Wild.
And like, okay, maybe they're not wrong if coding is just natural language and we're just talking to our phones and we're like walking to go get dinner and we're like, oh, build this new feature on this page. I could totally see that. But I just think that for seasoned engineers, they're always going to want to gravitate toward having complete control over the data or the code base.
Yeah. I think you need to mix both, right? Like it's more and more of my day is literally prompting, it feels like going from chat to cursor, back to chat to cursor, back to chat to cursor, or like even using like the Siri remote to search YouTube
Yeah.
on my Apple TV. Like that's super nice. But you're right, like at the end of the day, if you've used it a lot in cursor, it just goes in loops. Like sometimes it just cannot answer it. And if you're stuck in that, like it's so bad.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to like open up the hood and quickly change it if you want to at any time.
Yeah.
But it's quite powerful to think about like you can just talk to your phone and kind of like sit in front of a viewboard and just talk to it and talk through an idea. And then me and you could do it right at the same time. Like we could just brainstorm and have this thing like created in front of us.
Yeah.
That would be pretty sick. Or like go to this page. I want to like change this feature.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty incredible.
I wish that they could get that, the Next.js stack within Replit, right? Because I got comfortable with TypeScript and Tailwind,
Yeah.
and like I don't really want to do everything in Python and
Yeah.
JS.
You have to know. Like at the end of the day, you still have to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like there might be a
Yeah, I
huge
know.
market of like business people going to Replit trying to create an app. But that's the same thing as them going to Upwork and trying to create an app without
Yep.
knowing any coding knowledge. Like it's just not going to work.
That's kind of what I was explaining to people because I posted some videos on, oh, here's the new thing that you do. It's like you you create an app with AI,
Yeah.
then you like build a following on social media, and like boom, that's it. And people are like, "Oh, how do you build an app with AI?" I'm like, "Well, okay, it doesn't actually do all of it for you,
Yeah.
and it's actually still very technical to build an app with AI."
No matter what, you still need critical thinking skills
Yeah,
and some like strategy involved.
and people don't want to do that. Replit is solving that problem though. So you're a heavy cursor user. I've gotten
Big
into
cursor guy.
cursor a
Yeah.
lot too. I feel like there's still some issues with cursor. Do you want to talk about like what you like and don't like about cursor?
Um,
Obviously, it's great, but like maybe. like you said, you have to sort of like go outside Cursor and start a new thread on a different AI and brainstorm.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have too much feedback. Like, I feel like all these tools are pretty much similar, and it's just you have to learn how to use them. But I, I mean, I love that you can just Command K a page in Cursor, and it just goes through and like it's like changes the part of the code for you, and you just Command Y, and it fixes it, and then you do a follow up, and eventually it learns your code base. And then I've been playing with the feature where you can like insert and index your own documents. So like, that was a big problem before, is I used to have to go to like Next.js app router docs, but now you can just insert those into Cursor itself, so it has like real time knowledge of anything really.
Okay, I haven't used that yet.
And then in like the side chat prompt, you can add certain files. So you can add like 3 different files and like ask a question about it, and it will go through and make the same change. As far as what I don't like about Cursor, I don't know, man.
Nothing.
I'm a huge advocate. I don't know. What don't you like about Cursor?
I felt like I ran into some problems in terms of, let's say I pulled my Replit app,
Yeah.
and then I pushed it to GitHub, and now I'm like playing with it in Cursor. And so it's a new code base for me. I'm a new developer on this app, right? And I need to quickly figure out what's going on here.
Sure.
I don't feel like it creates a like I can't query the code base and say like, hey, how does this entire app work? How do these files interact with each other? If I have this JS file, like where is it connected to in the rest of the app?
Yeah. I see what you mean. Getting like a whole holistic understanding.
Yeah. But again, like that is something that, an engineer above my ability
Could just look at the file.
wouldn't have to ask the AI for.
Can't you just open up the prompt and say chat with codebase?
Yeah, but it
doesn't really.
Yeah, it just hasn't, for like basic stuff that I want, it really hasn't been able to find it for me.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's more of a bottoms up approach for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's in the process of building. It's there to like help you build it.
Yeah.
But it's not going to like walk you through everything.
Yeah. Honestly, the biggest game changer for me with Cursor was, so I've been like a big PC guy my entire life.
Yeah.
Doing analytics, using Excel. It's better on a PC. I don't know why. It's better when I have 2 screens. I'm just more productive that way.
Yeah.
I can have Excel over here. I can have SQL over here. I can like Power BI, like all the different things that I use, my email and whatever.
Yeah.
I've always felt like I needed 2 screens, and I've always felt like I need Windows Explorer to be able to like know where my files are and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, I've been trying to gravitate towards a MacBook. And when I went on vacation, I only had my Mac, so I was like forced to learn all, the whole Mac infrastructure.
Yeah,
Finder, yeah. But what I realized is having the AI chatbot like actually inside the code base, just in terms of the UI, where I don't have to go to a different screen, because I would have VS Code open in one screen and Claude or ChatGPT open in another screen, and that was my workflow. But now, like it's so simple, but like putting that in the same window made me feel more comfortable coding from a laptop and not having to sit at a desk with a big screen.
I mean, that's kind of the power of like what's happening is we've been like fixed to these devices because there needs to be certain physical inputs of like a keyboard and a size.
Yeah.
But the constraint now should just be like thought, idea, straight to like computer.
Yeah.
And like the reasoning ability gives you to do that. So I feel like that's the wave of like bringing us back more into like the real world, because we don't have to like be monkeys, like moving our fingers all day.
Yeah.
For a computer to understand us. What I really want is, after using chat and Cursor all day, I'll go to Photoshop or even Figma, honestly. And I'll be like, I actually like want to remove the backgrounds here. And I literally go to like Command K to like say remove background, and it doesn't do it. I have to go to YouTube, Google how to remove background, and then go in and figure it out.
Yeah.
Like I want chat to be there, and through like just looking at my screen. Yeah, and I can always just like Command K, like do this, and it like moves around any application.
You want Cursor everywhere on your computer.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's,
and then like they can manipulate the applications. I don't have to. Like they go in and like touch everything for me or type everything.
Yeah.
Like that feels like a much better way to interact with the computers.
I think that's where we're going, right? It's like less typing, less monkey typing, and more thought process and more chatting with your actual computer, going UI-less a little bit.
For sure.
So what else we got? That's so stupid.
We don't need to go too much longer.
That good?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, wait. Did you want to talk about tools?
I didn't have any new tools that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you had any cool things that you're using.
I have two, which I've been focused on. One is my buddy Nick. He created something called PlayKit.
Okay.
And so this is super helpful for like founders. And I feel like for me is he basically has found a way to go through all of like the most popping TikTok videos for apps and like brands in the past week and pulls out like breakdown what templates are working, what formulas are working, what hashtags are working, what strategies are working. Like he'll do like a deep dive on Airbuds, for example, or like any other new app that comes out and gives you like a full breakdown and then gives you like CapCut templates like recreate it for your business. And so
How does that app work?
it's not an app, it's a newsletter for now. So
Oh,
like
okay.
he
Oh, okay.
breaks down
Got it.
the thread on Twitter. It's actually he has a newsletter and it's crushing, honestly. And I didn't know newsletters could still make money, but anyway.
Yeah, dude.
But the pivot to newsletters.
Sign up for Content Squared if you want an automated newsletter.
Yeah. Literally. But yeah, that's super helpful because like then every new product that we launch, like usually you should spend time on that account, like being a real person on that account and learning that niche and seeing what's working. But then you can just like take these videos that are already working and apply it to your niche
Yeah.
and just use different buzzwords. That's really helpful. And then there's another tool I haven't tried it yet, but it seems super helpful is Shortimize. Have you used it?
No, but I know who built it.
Yeah, that Guillermo guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know him personally?
No. Well, I
Okay.
mean, you sent me his 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 X account, and then I became obsessed with him because that's where I learned about the Airbud strategy.
Yeah.
I think he does. I'm on his Telegram chat now. He does like great deep dives on organic growth strategies.
Yeah. It's weird. It feels like there's an explosion of just like people running the same formula.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, like
Shortimize.
this tool basically like you connect all like if you have UGCs for your brands and like brand accounts and whatever, you like can pull that all into one interface and it like apparently tracks the analytics and like views. So if you have one creator out of 50 that's like getting 10 views, you can just be like, you can see that and terminate contracts. Like
Yep.
otherwise it's hard to track. Yeah, so I think those are pretty cool.
Cool.
All right, but we can actually end it now.
All right. Nice.
It's like,
Are you using Shortimize?
no, but it's pulled up on my computer.
Okay.